Hey guys, Fresh Pilot here today with a video on the best mouse and keyboard sensitivity settings for Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. Don't think there's particularly much out there in terms of the actual settings for mouse and keyboard, as the game is very controller dominated. So we have to make sure we get the right balance to help us sort of combat that aim assist used by controller players. Nothing wrong with that, it's just I am mouse and keyboard, always will be. And I think if you get these settings right, it gives you that advantage over them and sort of, as I say, counter that aim assist. So without further ado, let's get into the settings and hopefully increase your aim slightly. Okay then guys, now we're in the settings menu. As you can see, the input device is set to mouse and keyboard. Now one thing which never seems to get covered in these sensitivity settings is what DPI the user is using. So I use 800 DPI. It's pretty much the standard one for most FPS games when it comes to mouse and keyboards, but just to clear it up, 800 DPI is what I use. Now I match that with a 6 sensitivity because I believe when you're flicking, it just gives you that slight more control over locking onto targets than an 8. I think an 8 sort of, obviously you'd be 1-to-1 then, 8 cents, 800 DPI. But I think with a 6 it just helps you sort of control those flicks, and also if you've got a bit of a lighter mouse, 6 sort of helps just steady that down. If you've got a heavier mouse, possibly an 8 would be more sort of the road to go down. But if you've got a nice light mouse, go with a 6, 800 DPI. Your ADS sensitivity zoom low, you want to keep that as a 1. ADS sensitivity multiplayer high zoom, keep that as a 1. Vehicle mouse sensitivity multiplayer, keep that as 1. ADS sensitivity transition timing, I set that to instant. I just believe that sort of it changes it immediately after the button's pressed to aim down sights. I know a lot of people have it on gradual, but instant to me works a lot better when using mouse and keyboard. Invert vertical look, obviously disabled. I can't imagine why anybody would enable that. I'm sure there's a few of you out there who do, so good luck with that. Advanced settings, don't really want to faff around with these too much. Vertical sensitivity multiplayer is 1. ADS mouse sensitivity relative. Monitor distance coefficient, I use 1.78. I know a lot of people use 1.33, which I think is the default, but I use 1.78. Definitely worth changing that to 1.78. Mouse acceleration, you want to keep these down at 0. Mouse smoothing disabled and mouse filtering down at 0. Also, if you head into your Windows, you want to make sure mouse acceleration, your Windows settings for your mouse, you want to make sure mouse acceleration isn't ticked. But there you go guys, there's not really anything you change on gameplay or key bindings. I think the regular key bindings for the keyboard are pretty awesome. If you've got a mouse with buttons on, I have the scroll wheel. You can set that to lethal, so your grenades. Tactical is one of my side buttons, and melee is also one of my side buttons. So that just sort of makes the quick, snappy things, what you need to do, more accessible. You don't have to reach on your keyboard; they're just there where your thumb rests on your mouse. But yeah, guys, I hope that helps with your sensitivity. Leave a comment down below if that improves your aim at all. As I say, I've been on some pretty awesome streaks since I've adapted to these sensitivity settings. Another little tip I can give you if you are on computer is use hardcore, because as I say, this aim assist with controllers is so dominant. But when you're playing hardcore game modes, I do think with mouse and keyboard you have that advantage with the speed. It's just sometimes locking onto actual enemies can be a bit more difficult. So hardcore game modes is definitely the way to go. But as I say, hope that helped guys. I'm Fresh Pilot and enjoy the rest of your day.